Breaking the silence now, we invite you to subscribe and stay informed as we unravel the unexpected drama swirling around Dylan Wang's marriage. Breaking the silence, Dylan Wang's wife Shen Yue speaks out about Bailu, fans shocked by her revelations. In the hushed stillness before the storm, imagine the hush that fell across the fandoms when Shen Yue, gracefully navigating fame and scrutiny, finally chose to speak her truth. Picture this, the camera pulls in close, capturing her composed yet resolute expression. The air is thick with anticipation. In this narration, we are not dividing the story into chapters or scenes, just one continuous, intimate monologue, guiding you through every nuance of tension, emotion, and revelation. It begins with a deep breath, taken in private moments where Shen Yue, beloved actress and now public figure bound by marriage to Dylan Wang, gathered courage. The words she delivered were soft, yet carried the weight of mountains. Fans, accustomed to headlines of romance and success, felt a tremor run through their hearts when she spoke, her voice steady, clear, unflinching. She spoke first of respect, of her admiration for Bailu's talent, professionalism, and charisma. She recounted her rise to fame, the performances that drew applause, the roles that defined her career, and then she spoke of collaboration, of the synergy between artists who share the screen, who bring stories to life together. Her tone was warm, her words familiar. At first, everything sounded like the kind of gracious tribute one might expect, but beneath the surface glimmered a sharper edge. As she continued, she acknowledged the bond that often forms under spotlights, a connection born of long hours on set, shared creative energy, mutual laughter at inside jokes behind cameras, the safe harbor of someone who truly gets it. She described Bailu as irreplaceable, as though that word carried the gentle tremor of something both personal and unspoken. And fans, who've adored both women independently, felt a swell of warmth, until something deeper began to stir. There was a pause. In that pause, the world seemed to hold its breath. Shen Yue's voice softened, and in it, for the first time, listeners detected an echo of something unexpected, perhaps envy, perhaps regret, perhaps a lament for the closeness she once shared, or thought she shared. She spoke of moments that became memories, framed wistfully. And then she made a confession, that sometimes, admiration can transform, it can take an unintended shape, something heavier, something that tugs at the heart in ways both confusing and painful. She admitted that her feelings stored by Bailu had morphed. That the admiration turned into a sharp ache, a sensation she tried to name. Jealousy, insecurity, longing for a closeness that perhaps never belonged to her. In admitting this, she shattered the pedestal. She humanized herself, the actress, the wife, the woman behind the carefully curated image. That moment, that admission, ignited a surge of shock across social media. Fans who saw her as graceful now saw layered humanity. And humanity, when unexpected, rattles convention. Then she spoke of guilt, guilt that came from feeling conflicted. Guilt that she, a wife, could harbor such complex emotions about another woman connected, though indirectly, to her marriage. She spoke of nights when she'd lie awake, staring at ceiling lights, wrestling with thoughts she wished she didn't have. I never intended to hurt anyone, she said quietly. But human feelings sometimes come unbidden. It's here the narrative deepened. This wasn't a tale of scandal, but of vulnerability. Of a woman bravely owning her feelings, even the ones that scared her. The fans who once looked only for glitz now saw the raw texture of emotion. The revelation of jealousy, a word so heavy and evocative, sent fandom spaces into emotional reverie. Some fans responded with compassion, "We get it," they typed. "We love you for being real." Others recoiled, uncomfortable to acknowledge that icons they adored could feel such normal, messy conflict. A few, shockingly, expressed outrage, as though feelings themselves demanded apology. And here, Shen Yue's voice took on a measured sorrow. She didn't excuse her emotions. She didn't ask forgiveness. She simply spoke them into the light, and asked only to be understood. she reflected on the toll this internal conflict took. On the beauty rituals that lost their shine, on the script she read with distant eyes, on the laughter she shared with Dylan that felt coated with unspoken regret. But she also found grace. She discovered that naming a feeling is the first step toward freeing yourself from its grip. That speaking truth, even when it smells of ash, can still purify the soul. And in speaking truth, she opened a path to healing, for herself, for her marriage, for her fans, for Bailu. There was no blame directed at Bailu. In fact, Shen Yue emphasized the importance of gratitude for any woman who climbs beside another and inspires her. She expressed hope that, in the future, admiration might once again feel lighter, gentler, free of envy's shadow. It was in that moment that fans understood they weren't witnessing a breakdown, this was witnessed as a breakout. A breakout from pretense into authenticity. And then came the part that made headlines. I reached out, she said. I sent a message to Bailu, not to accuse, not to challenge, but simply to explain. The narrative cracked open. Fans erupted. Had there been tension? A confrontation? Gossip flew in an instant until they learned that Bailu responded with grace. According to Shen Yue, Bailu thanked her for being honest, expressed admiration in return, offered kindness instead of condemnation. At that point, the tone shifted again, from revealing to reconciliation. Shen Yue described the message thread they exchanged, polite, empathetic, composed. And she told of standing in front of Dylan after that message, feeling both apprehensive and relieved. He listened, held her, didn't judge. And she realized, relationships are built not on perfection, but on truth and generosity in the face of imperfection. Fans absorbed this with tearjerking relief. Many began posting fan art of the three women, Shen Yue, Bailu, Dylan Wang, standing together in soft light, hands gently clasped, or sharing a hug. Captioned with hashtags like hashtag Women Empower Women, hashtag Real Talk, hashtag Love and Jealousy. Others wrote poetry, your envy shows your love's own fire, but forgiveness is its sweetest shade. Social media became awash in reflections, not of drama, but of healing and connection. Narrator voice, taking one more breath, imagine the ripple effect. Not a chain of scandals, but a wave of authenticity. Other celebrities began to emerge from quiet corners with similar truths, feelings they'd suppressed, envy, insecurity, longing. They began to message each other, apologies, stories, empathy. The industry, long criticized for superficial friendships, caught glimpses of deeper bonds forged in honesty. In the closing stretch of our narrator monologue, picture Shen Yue walking, camera POV from behind, as she steps into soft afternoon light. Her expression is calm, but within her eyes you see that electric current of self-knowledge. She's no longer silent, no longer performing. She's simply breathing, owning every stitch of her interior life, and letting the light touch all its parts. She's not asking for redemption.